and welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Mrs. Connolly and I'm the Video Production 1 teacher. Tonight I'd like to go over a lot of different things for video production class. I'd like to talk to you about the expectations and projects we're going to do this year. But in addition, I'd really like you to kind of see what it's like in distance learning. I've had lots of parents send me questions about what's it like, how are we going to do this, especially considering the fact that this is a tech class and we usually do a lot of project and group work. So before we get started tonight, I thought it might be kind of fun to start with a video that the students made last year that actually talks about what video production class is like. Let's check it out.
AV Video Production is a UC-approved visual and performing arts class. Students learn video and film techniques from planning all the way to post-production. Students will master skills like editing, filming, lighting, audio, and more. In Video Production 1, students learn all the basics of video production. In Video Production 2, students take their skills to the next level. Students learn more advanced filming and audio techniques as they are introduced to glide cams, aerial cams, and drones, wireless microphones, light boxes, and more. Students will make movies, documentaries, music videos, lip dubs, and commercials. In Video Production 3, students learn advanced video production techniques and work on projects where they can demonstrate their mastery of these skills. Students in all 3 courses will take field trips to see films and to shoot on location. These are great courses for students interested in learning marketable skills that they can use for their future.
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that video. That's what video production class is usually like when we are in class. It's a little bit different when we are learning from home. I come into class and I work out of my classroom most of the time, but I do also work from home. I have 2 teenagers. I have a son who's 17, he's a junior at San Ramon Valley, and I have a daughter who's a freshman. So for me, it's a lot easier to work here in my classroom. There's fewer distractions. But I want to show you what the setup is like. Whether I'm at home or I'm at school, my setup is exactly the same. So let me show you what this looks like from a teacher perspective. So when I'm teaching, I usually have 3 screens here going. I've got the screen that I'm sharing, that I'm using for presentations. And you can see over here, I also have a TV set up, so that way I can see the chat that's going on, because sometimes my students have questions and they don't want to just speak out, so they can respond in the chat. Sometimes I ask them questions and I can see them respond in the chat. But I also have their images up, so this is how I check for understanding. I know that we don't necessarily have to have students share their faces. It's so much easier if they can. I told students, if you have some issues or anything like that and you don't want to share your face, please contact me and let me know, because I still have to check and make sure that students are able to understand what's going on and that they're still there. And then I even have this 3rd computer over here because I can't tell you how many glitches we have. Just so you know, tech glitches are common. And as teachers, we are doing the best we can to overcome them. Sometimes I have students who get kicked out of the Zoom and I have to let them back in. Sometimes we have glitches where the links aren't working or things like that happen. I have to be quickly on my other computer and I'm fixing that kind of stuff. Fortunately, as the media arts teacher, I am pretty tech savvy. I actually spent about 10 years in the tech industry before I came into teaching here at Amador. But even that, I still have problems. I remember the 2nd day of school, I got kicked out of each of my classes, every class, all 3 classes I was kicked out of. But I found as I started to panic, our students are really resilient. And fortunately, I had all my slides together so the kids were able to keep going. And I've learned quickly that it's really important for me to stay calm and let the students know that this is what's going on. But at the same time, you can see here, I've got this whole hub going on to make sure that my regular work is able to, the students are able to understand what we're doing. Okay, now I'd like to walk you through some of the regular slides from Back to School Night that I've done in the past, so you learn a little bit more about the class.
Okay, so let's talk a little more about what's expected in Video Production 1. First, I want to make sure that everybody read the welcome letter and read the class expectations. They're both located on the website, so if you still need to read those or see those, I am going to ask students to check off whether or not parents and students read the welcome letter. You can still find them on our website. So what do I expect from students? Well, let's see. Number 1, I expect students to be on time to class. Number 2, I expect them to participate. Even if they're not showing their faces, it's still important for students to be actively involved in the chat and participating in their group work so that everybody knows that they're there and they're being active participants in class. I need them to get their work done. I need them to make sure that they're asking for help when they need help, because that's something important. I run class the entire 70 minutes, and during those 70 minutes, I'm always there to answer questions and help out if they need it. Then I just need them to have fun. This is video production class, so this is a class that even though we're learning marketable skills that they're going to be able to use forever, I need to make sure they're having fun and they're learning something each day. So how does class and grading work in remote learning? Well, let me tell you. All of our grades are done on a point system. There's no weights. All of our major projects have rubrics, but our smaller projects, those are just points based. Participation does matter because video production isn't a class that you can just do by yourself, so you have to be able to share and work with others. Now, in addition, I just need students, to make sure when they're in class, follow the instructions. Show yourself when you're in your breakout groups so you can work with other people. Work in your groups well, participate, and stay on task. And then class time. Let's talk about how class time works. In our regular class time, we will, like I said, I will be on the computer for 70 minutes. We'll be doing lessons during that time. We'll be doing group work and breakout groups, and we'll also have some project work time. Attendance is mandatory in my class, and I do take roll at the beginning and end just because I want to make sure that everybody's there. Now, when students are in their individual learning time, which is called our remote learning activities time, we have that every day from 1 to 3. During that time, I'm able to give students videos and articles and just different assignments that they need to do. Now, what do students need to do to be successful in class? Well, first and foremost, students need a notebook because they need to be taking notes. We learn a lot of different terms that we're going to be using throughout the year, and we're going to be learning a lot of tech. So it's really important that students are taking notes because it's just way too much information for them to recall and remember later. So that means, of course, that they need something to write with. In addition, students will need their school Gmail. They need this so they can log in and they can, access all of our materials, all of our assignments, and all of our submissions. And then they're going to need headphones because there's going to be tutorials and other things like that I'm going to give them that they're going to need to be able to listen to. And then finally, they're going to need a good attitude. That's all you really need to be successful in video production class. Now, what types of projects are we going to be doing this year? Lots of different projects. We're going to be doing everything from short films to documentaries to commercials to horror films to music videos, news segments, so many different things this year. The kids are going to learn how to produce all different kinds of work in video production. What types of school projects do the students have? Well, there's lots of different ones because we're going to have the TEDx, we're doing some segments, and all the best segments, I will let students put them on AVTV. That way they can have their work exhibited publicly. We will still have diversity projects, we'll work on rallies, we'll work with teachers and do different client projects. So there's a lot of different stuff that we'll be doing this year. Now, where do you find everything? On our website, of course. Everything is going to be on our website. So if you need anything, just always check the website first.
Well, that's it for tonight. If you have any more questions, please feel free to email me. All of the students have my phone number, so you are more than welcome to text me as well. And just let me know if you have any questions or any concerns. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And again, please feel free to contact me if you need anything else. Have a great night.